in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga, woof. I'm an 88 pack nigga, woof. I mean, Dave Walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood, trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Let's bleed this morning. Drew Titan Bros on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Whether you like it or not. What we got in the building? Coach, what's good? DJ 7 for life, salute to you. Macados Mac of the South, my brother, salute. Eric H, Dwayne Jones, Mansa Musa Lifestyle, my brother, salute. Brian H, Counselor, good morning. How are you? Jim Diamond, Thrill Hill, Jamal Davis, Ace Daddis, Yoda Wise, what up, bro? My brother Steve Elder, Mac in the building. DB Montetrack, Rick Blackwell, Robert Singleton, Slim Hussein, Calvin Johnson, my brother All Around Strong, LLC is in the building. Josh Sanders, what up? Cortez Bowles. My brother One Round with George sent me some gems this morning, man. Woo! That's some great stuff, man. Go subscribe to my brother One Round with George. That's fam right there. Hat Rack, what up? Clarence, what up? Go subscribe to my brother Clarence. What's good, brother? How you feel? Jermaine Jubilee, what's up, bro? How you feel? Chilltown Majors. Did y'all know Jermaine is a wrestler? I'm dead ass. Serious. Chilltown Majors, Snacks B. Tay Tay, good morning, my future ex-wife. Jason, what up? Jay Walt. Ramel Lane. 704 Joe. 88 Sports Talk, Sam Mack, Boxing TV in the building, salute. Edgar Chavez, my brother. Yep. So here's what we gonna do, man. I see the family coming in. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. So today we're gonna have a conversation. All right. So the question I put up yesterday, Melvin Harris, good morning, how you feel? Devin Haney is number one pound for pound boxer in the world. The number one pound for pound boxer in the world. Yes or no? Some agree, some won't agree, but we're going to talk about it. Is Bill going to show up? I don't know. He's going to have to text me. Y'all know you say his name, you say his son's name long enough, he'll just pop up. I won't even send him a link, he'll just pop up. My brother, Broken Traditions, my brother LaRon's in the building. Go subscribe to my brother. Put your link in the chat, family. Yes, sir. So we're going to have a conversation. And I'm going to make the case. Sensei Stormy B-Man's in the building, man. What up?
Yo, what's good, man? When you was just talking about Bill, I was writing in the chat. I was like, Bill is like Candyman. You say his name enough times. And he'll appear.
I'll be like, yo, how'd you get a link? He'll just pop up. Southpaw Boxing, salute, man. Yo, man, dig this here, man. A few days ago, yeah, Robert says definitely top 5, but I'm not sure about one yet. Well, we're going to talk about it. And I was just sitting thinking, I'm like, yo, well, all this ridiculous shit going on with these pound for pound lists, you know, we could put together a list today and it won't be so ridiculous. So I'm gonna put up a random list because they change every week. I mean, I don't recall exactly when they started putting heavyweights on the list, but please understand, I never did a list and we could do it today. You know what I'm saying? Because lists are subjective, but to me, they have to make some sense. And what doesn't make sense is to put a heavyweight on a goddamn list. My brother MP.
What the fuck?
Salute. Brown on Boxing. What up? Jay Get. We're gonna do it now. So let me just throw up a random list. Let's check on Almighty Law, salute. I'm gonna throw up this list. This is one of my favorite shitty lists right here. All right? Because the top 3 always confuse the fuck out of me. Oh, I like that. Wait, you know what? Forget this list. Let's do this one. This is Stormy's.
My Thunderous top 10, man. And even though I may not have Devin number 1, you can see how high I put him. And
yes,
that list, the Thunderous top 10, is not necessarily pound for pound, but it's the impact that a fighter has on the sport with his performances. It's how he defends his position. It is how the people are drawn to him, and it has enough of consideration because there are successful fighters outside of who you may watch.
That's right.
But it's done also with a critical eye toward, there's no favoritism in this list. There's no one on this list that I am like, oh, this is my man. No. But I have observed the performances of these fighters, and it's very consistent. There are people who have been omitted, and rightfully so, but
yes,
at the same time, I can always justify or explain the whole purpose of my Thunderous top 10. And I call it Thunderous top 10 and not pound for pound for those very reasons. You know, so and this is the latest. I just premiered or debuted this list about 2 weekends ago on my Friday night chop session, and I have one for the ladies as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one too, so we could throw some men on that shit. All right, so I like this list. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Be honest. Who in the chat knows who number 10 is? I'll stop right there. This is the Sensei's females top 10 right here, just in case you haven't seen it. Clarissa Shields, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, Franchon Cruz DeZern, Alicia Bumgarner, Cynthia Estrada, I know who that is. Makala Mayer, know who that is. Delphine Pearson, saw her, I was watching her on YouTube. I'm not too familiar with her. Chantel
He's
Cameron.
The one that gave Katie Taylor a rough-ass fight 2 years ago, and she should have got that decision. And Katie Taylor fought her in a rematch and did get her, you know, decision easily in the rematch. But in the first fight, Delphine Pearson was whooping on Katie Taylor's behind.
That's her. That's what I was watching. Number 10, Christina Hammer.
Now, there's been an omission from an undisputed champ on this list. So that lets you know how consistent I am. On this list, Jessica McCaskill is no longer on my Thunderous top 10 off of her performance against Chantel Cameron. And Cameron, because she became undisputed junior welterweight by defeating McCaskill, who moved down to fight her actually, she debuted at number 9. You see, I didn't bring her in there and put her too high or anything, but she totally outboxed and outclassed McCaskill, who got booted off the list basically on that performance alone.
Gotcha.
So there's consistency in everything that I'm doing here.
The brother George said McCaskill looked awful in that fight, and she's 38 years old. King, what up? Salute to the family. Let's put this back up here. Let's put this list back up here. Okay, because I could work with this list. All right. Now, I'm gonna make my argument, and again, family, pound for pound lists are all subjective. All right, they're all subjective. So I'm gonna do 10. All right. I'm gonna start from 1 and go down. I'm gonna put Devin Haney at number 1. Now, everyone has a different criteria, I seen a pound for pound list online somewhere, and I should have started documenting this shit because I knew that this would come up somewhere. And I see the family coming in. Smash the like button. I appreciate y'all. Much love, y'all. DJ Zion Love. My brother Southern T, Santi L, TJ Boxing, Ratchet since 91. Who else I missed? If I missed you, I love you. Cassandra, King Hitman, salute, salute, salute. Todd Swindle, what up? Yup, Bam. That's who that is at number 10 if y'all didn't know. That's Bam. Bam Rodriguez. Y'all must have forgot. I see your list. I see your list. Iron Levant. CT Fat Boy, what up? So I'm going to start with Devin at number 1. The reason why I have it at number 1 is because why not? There's my answer. There's criteria that I consider in my list. Some of you do, some of you don't, and that's fine. I saw a list online years ago, maybe about 4 years ago, where they factored in revenue generated. But they didn't factor in revenue earned. There's a difference. You could earn your company $100 million. You could generate $100 million for your company, but you personally earned $2 million. So you're a millionaire, but you generated 100 and you only saw 2 million out of it. That's fucking dumb. They factored that in, and I saw AJ on that list. Big Block, salute. Jeff Spark in the building. Gnarly Ray, my brother Bert, what up? Jay Boomin. So there's a bunch of lists you can find online. Ring Magazine's list is bullshit. ESPN's list is bullshit. So, let me throw this back up here. So let's work with the bullshit for a second. I'm gonna put yours back up in a second, Stormy, because that your list is obviously more realistic. Let's fuck with this one. This was a few months ago. This is after Devin Haney became pound for pound, by the way.
And there they go, putting him up there with an image with him holding on to some chains.
Fucking gold chains.
Come on, man.
You can Google Devin Haney. You'll find 20 pictures of him with pads, with gloves on, hitting pads, before you'll find him doing this. So they threw that shit up there, and they got a Nui with his arms folded like he's all business. Like he's I was about to say something stupid, but whatever. And they threw him at number 2. You understand what I'm saying? This is what they do to us, y'all. And listen, let's play the Eddie Hearn game, because that's what I call it. Go outside today at any time in whatever city you're in, and walk up to random people and say, "You watch boxing?" Most of them are gonna say no. Let's be honest. Most of them are gonna say no. But they'll be able to name, just name any boxer. They're gonna say Mike Tyson. They're gonna say Lennox Lewis. They're gonna start shouting out motherfuckers from the 80s and 90s. Some of them may say, "Oh yeah, well, here and there I watch." Ask them, "Do you know Naoya Inoue?" And they're gonna stare at you. They're gonna give you the most blank stare. They're gonna be like, "Do you know Naoya Inoue?" They're gonna be like, "God bless you. You ain't sneeze." Inoue! Nobody knows you. Number 2, ESPN, put him up there. Number 2. You understand? So watch this, y'all. I got Devin at number 1. Here's why. I consider not only accomplishments, I don't give a fuck about money generated or money earned, but I not only consider accomplishments, but I consider, drum roll, who avoided you. Devin Haney was supposed to have Lomachenko on his resume like 2 or 3 years ago. Let that sink in. Lomachenko, who can't find his way off a pound for pound list, there he is right there at number 7. He's still ahead of Devin Haney with 2 fucking losses. On this list, he's ahead of Devin Haney with 2 losses that he never, ever, ever ran back. And he dumped the belt rather than fight Devin. I take that into consideration. Okay, you want to factor in revenue? If you want to be a cornball like that, cool. Let's be cornballish about it. Devin's his own boss. Who got deeper pockets, Loma or Devin?
When is the last time Loma fought on pay-per-view?
Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa.
What's up? Before it gets started. Oh, probably when he did ride Crambo.
What? When did Devin fight a man that was 2 weight classes lighter than him? When have you seen? When did Lomachenko fight for undisputed? When he could have. When did Lomachenko travel into hostile territory to capture an undisputed title? Undisputed. Hold on. See the super chats. I'm gonna get to him in a second. Went to hostile territory twice. One undisputed and then defended it. These are things that Devin has accomplished. Plus, he's undefeated. And he's still looking for smoke. This is a throwback mentality. These are the things that we praise guys like Lennox Lewis for. Huh? Got as many belts that he can get a hold of, and he's always looking for smoke. I tell you, Lennox Lewis will always get respect from me for that. Lennox Lewis was always looking for smoke. Bottom line, let me get to these super chats real quick. My brother Robert Singleton in that super chat, much love. He says, Mel, Errol Spence, Dev, Better Beef, Bivol, that guy from Omaha, Crambuterol, Alvarez, Shakur, Anui, and Cool Boy. Okay. I'm not knocking anyone's list today. That's dope. That's dope. Okay. My brother, stay ready. But yo, let me tell you something, man. Stay ready. You might not see me, but I see you. And I see this brother working. And when I come to Texas, I promise you, I'm not going to be dieting that weekend. Do y'all see this brother putting it down in the kitchen? I swear to God, if you could mail fried shrimp and it can still get here hot, I'd do it. I'd put in an order. I'm going to be a fat boy when I get down to Texas. I'm eating everything, man, for real. Lionel Stroll's mother's up.
Let's just say it like this. If I was there where Stay Ready be cooking up all them good vittles, man, y'all wouldn't call me Stormy B-Man. Y'all would be calling me Stormy B-Man.
I would be so fat when I get to Texas. I'll be so fat. Tay B, what up? What up? What up? My brother 88 Sports Talk in that super chat, much love. He said Devin never requested the franchise status. Oh yeah, we can go on and on and on. He never requested it. He never requested it. You see what I'm saying? So this list, off the bat, 502 King, salute. He says, Big Easy, what up, what up, what up? I know, bro. I know. Ain't up there. Go to Texas, man. There'll be a 13-year-old. He'd be like 6'1", 280. Like, what are you doing? What's happening down here? 502 King, the brother says, heavyweights can be on the list. LO, pound for pound is way more, is a way to compare smaller fighters' chances to heavyweight based on the, oh, I know what you mean. I know what you're saying. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. So on this list, yeah, salute, George. Salute, George. He said, stay ready, said, just do a little bit. Nah, I'm going to go down there. I'm eating everything, man. I'm eating everything. For real. Oh, yeah. Ringside Views. Let me tell you, this brother got a Shakur interview over there. Go watch that interview. Derek Smith, salute. I was in the gym listening there. I'm like, oh, y'all family be putting in work, man. I'm so proud of what we're doing here. Man, I'm so proud. Black Undertaker, my brother, salute. Yeah, I know 502 King. I'm going to explain that. I'm going to briefly explain that. Malik has Wilder number one spot on his list. Hey, Oak Park, my brother, salute. Here's why. In my opinion. This is my opinion, y'all. You can put Deontay there because that man is 214. I'm heavier than Deontay Wilder at 6'2". I've been hearing this thing about super heavyweight and stuff like that. Deontay Wilder, we can't name one guy that he fought that was his weight or lower. Deontay Wilder has been outweighed by at least 20 to 30 pounds in every last one of his fights. And he's floored everybody. Everybody. He's floored everybody. You understand? On commentary, salute. Vince, what up, brother? How you feel? Stay Ready said it just dropped another piece to that interview today. He said he would knock out George Kambosos. Yes. Yes. Everyone. Yo, Stay Ready. Put that link in the chat. Put that link in the chat to the other channel, please. Please do that, please. Put that link there. That's very important. Because we're making the case for Devin. I'm making the case for Devin. Not everyone has to agree. This is why I don't like get deep in and fight with people over pound for pound. It just has to make sense.
Let me help you out with that about Devin, though, being in the number one spot. Something that he does have over everybody else on the list. Even on my list. He was willing to give up a lot to get to what he really wanted. Take less money, go to a foreign land, sign a deal with someone that, you know, is not necessarily got his best interests at heart, but all to make it happen. And you have to applaud him for that, because basically, essentially, he gambled on himself.
Yeah.
And he hit the jackpot. That cannot be denied. And there's a lot of people that's even on the list that I made that may not have necessarily been willing to go that far to achieve their goal.
Right.
So that's commendable, respectable, and it's just something that should never, ever be dismissed, you know, and it should be respected for him.
I agree. The things that Devin did, he legitimately put himself at risk for a whole lot of stuff. Could have got drugged. You know, remember the first time he went to Australia, he didn't have his corner, man. If it wasn't for Yoel and company, he literally went down there pretty much by himself and got it done. You want to talk about all the advantages? Come on, man.
They even tried to remove his dad from the first go round and everything. They held up a trainer. They did, man. They were were ruthless in what they were trying to do to him.
You gotta understand, if Devin still lost, I'd have had him at number one because of what the risk that he put himself in. That was a risk. I was like, bro, it don't get any better than this.
Now, let me say this. I'm not trying to take the show in a different direction, but since all of this late social media barking, the dogs with the gate in between them, you know, since all that's been taking place, where you at, Tank? See, if you think you all that, why haven't you done like what Devin did? Simple.
Now let me ask y'all about Tank, because I could put him on the list, but I'm gonna tell you why he's not number one. Tank, like BFTB said, he's the A side in all directions, right? I'll take that. But that also means he could do whatever the fuck he wants. I'll say it again. That also means he could do whatever the fuck he wants to do. He's fighting Garcia. And salute to Garcia. Garcia did me a great solid. I appreciate him. I appreciate him. Salute to the Dominican Republic. They're on fire right now. He knocked
But
out
he's
Elmo.
pulling
That's
him up
big.
from a lower weight.
That pulled him up from a lower weight. He didn't knock out Elmo, but he styled on him, knocked him down, and I love that. All right? And salute to him. He's getting what he deserves. He deserves his payday. Salute to Garcia. But if he's fighting Garcia, why couldn't he fight Devin? This is the A side. The A side means they can do whatever the fuck they want. He's a franchise champion without the actual status. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Why didn't he choose Devin?
You
See
ready
what I'm
for
saying?
another Uncle Pesos moment?
Whoa! What the that's kind of pretty before it gets started.
No, check it. I haven't even said it yet. But
What?
with all of the success that Tank has had and what he's been doing, when is he going to do that to a brother?
Uh-oh.
Huh? That right there. Is he pulling a Canelo? I represent the brothers, so I'm not going to fight the others.
King Bonnie, salute. He represents the brothers. He ain't gonna support the others. But if he said that, if he ever said that out loud, he'd be canceled.
But he's doing it.
He's doing it.
He's
How could I
doing
believe
it.
what you say when I see what you do? Now, if we accuse him
There
of
you
it,
go. There you go. Now that is Uncle Peso's moment right there.
Whoa! What the
Take that.
Michael, we gonna get to it. We gonna get to all of it. We're gonna get to all of it. We're gonna get to all of it. Again, this is a pound for pound list. Everything is subjective. Everything is subjective. It's subjective. It's subjective. It's subjective. Grease with fire. This is his opinion. This is his opinion, y'all. This is just his opinion. He said Haney is a great boxer, but he can't hold jocks. He can't hold Tank's jock strap. He has absolutely no chin and no power. This is the recipe for disaster. If he fights Tank, he going to bed. Well, here's my response. Grease with fire, and that's his opinion. He's entitled to it. Here's
And I
my
have one
response.
too after you.
Here's my response. Tank could have easily made that fight at any point. Who would you rather pay money to see? Devin versus Tank in Vegas, in Brooklyn, in Atlanta, in Miami, in LA? Who would you rather see? Devin versus Tank or Tank versus Garcia? When they put the picture up of him, but when he said, I'm fighting Garcia, I knew exactly who they was talking about. It took everyone 48 hours to be like, yo, who? Because you know why? A lot of people were like, oh, of course he's fighting some Spanish dude instead of another black fighter. Of course he's doing that. Of course he's doing that. And I said, no. You remember who that was? And people were like, who's that? Matter of fact, even the general said, who the fuck is Garcia? They had to remind him, that's the guy that knocked the shit out of Chris Colbert. He said, oh, because he's fighting all these Spanish dudes. Come on, man. Who is it before Garcia? Rolly. Who's it before Rolly? Barrios. Who's it before that? Come on, man. Devin is top dog. Look, letting these fights marinate, another pandemic will come about. Bullshit, man. You're in Grease with Fire. You are totally entitled to your opinion. I could dig it. You're totally entitled, no matter how disrespectful it is. I dig it. Fine. My thing is this: make the fight. Tank can make the fight. Why hasn't he made the fight? Go ahead, Sensei.
Yeah. To answer that in my own way, Devin is 20-0 with 20-0 with 15 KOs. So he must have stopped somebody, huh?
Yeah.
There are some of your favorite fighters whose KO percentage isn't that good. How about that? Now,
Read that.
Now, there were also considerations of he having no chin, but he's never been off his feet.
Thank you.
His ass has never kissed the canvas in a professional fight. Okay, anyone can get rocked and shook and shake it off and keep on fighting. It's happened in boxing a ton of times. So where's the basis and grounds for a remark like that unless you are just trying to big up someone else? Tank didn't knock out Isak Cruz. Why? We needed to see a knockout. Tank didn't knock him out, so Tank is a piece of shit for not knocking out Isak Cruz. That's what you're trying to say about Devin Haney. So stop loving and swinging on a particular guy's nutsack, okay? And have a greater appreciation and knowledge for the sport. This man, who's running from Tank? Who is running from Tank? But the whole division has moved away from Devin.
Thank you. Say it again.
The entire division has moved away. Ryan went upstairs. Teofimo went upstairs. Lomachenko is scared to go anywhere else, so he's trapped. Okay? And now Tank, who's been fluctuating with fighting guys who are now at welterweight and everything, and dipping down to where Devin is and everything, but not dipping down to see Devin.
There you go.
And we're supposed to be respectful of that? No, not at all. And if he is the man, why hasn't the man told his people, I want that guy, I want that guy, I want that guy. Line them up like he's lining up the Garcias. Huh? I'm waiting.
You see what George said? People used to say Pernell Whitaker had no power, yet he's an all-time great. So I really don't buy the power thing. You know, even Tank said it in his interview. He said he ain't got power to stay up off him. All right, so why isn't anybody walking him down? They said that, yo, listen, it wasn't that long ago. Forget Pernell Whitaker. And salute to the general. He's in the strong house. He's benching 405. Salute to him. Salute. Gio James, salute. Shauna, what up? Ring Dragon. Now listen.
When Floyd told Tank, you better chill before I put you in there with Lomachenko, Tank was quiet for months.
He said, I think it's time for Lomachenko. He threatened him with Lomachenko. Let's not forget that, y'all. Now, mind you, I said, yo, Tank could beat Loma. But why wasn't that fight made A-side? Why wasn't that fight made A-side? Tank been on pay-per-view. A-side. Lomachenko was there. A-side. Devin Haney's there. A-side. So why wasn't the fight made A-side? This is my point. So we can say what we want about who wins between them, but my point is make the goddamn fight. So we can find out. Can Tank beat Devin? Probably. I think Devin wins the fight. Me personally, I'll pick the boxer over the puncher like 80% of the time. I will.
But not just the boxer. A boxer with ring IQ. A boxer with the spirit and desire to be the best. A boxer who is a student of the sport and understands what legacy means. It's not about the bag when it comes to him. It's about being able to beat quality guys so that when his day is done, he can look back at his body of work and say, you see that? I did that. I did that. I did that.
Let's talk about the body of work.
These other guys can keep buying cars that they crash on the street and everything and got to run and lie and tell somebody that was my assistant driving and everything and getting in trouble with the law and showing up in child support court and all of this other bullshit that Tank and some others have been associated with. But all Devin is doing is stamping and making his own brand the correct way. The correct way, not just any way. The correct way.
Let me move this for a second. Let me ask y'all a question because George makes a point. George makes a point. Let me throw this up there. All of this stuff about Devin not having a chin, y'all got it backwards. When has he been hurt? The one time I saw him hurt was against Linares. Linares can punch, y'all. Did he knock Devin down? I will admit, if that happened early in the fight, Devin would have probably got knocked down. I had to take a knee. But Linares can punch. How do we know? Do y'all say Lomachenko has no chin? I see y'all saying Devin ain't got no chin more than y'all say Lomachenko ain't got no chin. Lomachenko has been dropped a couple of times in his career, and he ducked Devin. As a matter of fact, Linares knocked Lomo on his ass.
You mean to tell me that the Matrix couldn't solve Haney? Wow.
Oh, if he could have beat Devin, he'd have took the fight. The motherfucker fought Regendow. Regendow's the size of my 12-year-old, man. Are you kidding me? Literally. He came out, Lomo was about 147, 148 pounds that night. Get the fuck out of here. Lomachenko? All this talk about he ain't got no chin. I don't see it. What are y'all talking about?
Where does that come from? He hasn't hardly been hit on the chin. First of all, you got to hit me to get me. You understand? Where's the logic coming from? Oh, I know. None. The anus. That's where it's coming from. Pulling it from their ass. Huh? With no substance at all.
Don't buy into that, man. Don't buy into that. That no chin argument, do not buy into it. I assure you it's a dead argument. George says Haney hasn't shown he has no chin. All fighters getting hit and hurt at some point. Damn, Cassius Clay got dropped by a smaller Henry Cooper. Is this too back? Is this too far back for y'all? No one ever says Ali ain't got no chin. He's been floored a few times, but Ali probably had the best chin in the sport. Devin didn't get dropped. He got rocked. It's boxing. Because if that Linares situation don't happen, what would y'all be saying? Y'all be saying we don't know about his chin. Well, now you know, because he got wobbled. He came back. He showed the next round what to do when you're hurt. He got his bearings back in round 12, and it was back to business. He shut Linares out. And y'all keep talking about what happened at the end of round 10? Really think about what y'all are saying, man. Come on now. It's an unfair argument. Now watch this. How do you know if Tank has a chin? How do you know? Have you seen him in trouble? I know Isak Cruz, who behaved like one of those pit bulls that 78 raises, went in there and tried to gnaw at him. Because Tank had to box. And he says, you know what? I can't hurt this guy. Now
and
tell me.
He never stood and traded with the guy. Huh?
He never traded with him.
How about putting up that high guard and walking Isak down, huh? And trying to exchange with him. Since he's so mighty. He's so mighty. He didn't take a moment like Evander Holyfield used to do and say, let me test this guy's will and spirit. And you never questioned it. Why? Why did you never question it? Because you don't fucking understand.
I heard more excuses for why. I heard Dr. H, what up, bro? I heard more excuses as to why. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking at something. All right. I heard more excuses as to why Tank didn't get rid of Isak Cruz than I heard more people just giving Isak credit for staying in the pocket with Tank and not laying down. Did y'all hear what I just said? I saw more of these motherfuckers out here capping for a Tank not getting rid of Cruz than giving Cruz credit for getting through the fight. There was not one point in that fight where Isak took his foot off the gas. He the tools that he had, he says, yo, it's now or never. I gotta eat. I got an opportunity here. And there was not one round that I didn't see Cruz trying to take Tank's fucking head off his head. His head off his shoulders. Not one round. And what did Tank say at the end of the fight?
On point to make sure he didn't get hit with some of that stuff because Isak was truly a threat. Someone was questioning in there whether or not he proved he got a good chin against Cruz. Cruz never hit him on the chin. Never got that chance.
And that's
Once
interesting.
We see that take place, then we will know some things. But you can't give credit when credit hasn't had a chance to be presented.
Right. Now, you made a good point. You remember when Tank figured some shit out about Leo Santa Cruz, and he said, you know what, this guy can't hurt me. and he walked straight in with the high guard and 8 punches so he can land one. He didn't do that with Isak.
No, that's what
He
I
said,
said.
"Let me get on my bike." He broke his hand in that fight.
I gave the example. My favorite fighter, Evander Holyfield, in each one of his fights, when he was defending his championships, he always had a moment where he would test the other guy's mettle. You don't know until you do it. Some guys are up for the challenge. Others wither under the challenge. And then others yet and still get overrun. And he did that against a bunch of guys. Riddick Bowe, Ray Mercer, Lennox Lewis, okay, Mike Tyson, George Foreman. When he did those things in those fights, there were different results for almost everyone. But the one result that remained is most did not meet that challenge. Bo did, because Bo was kind of like a little loosey-goofy up there. He didn't care about his safety, which is why he's in the condition he's in today. But when you think about Lennox Lewis didn't want no problems going to war with Holyfield. He only wanted to box him and keep him at a distance in that bay, but he didn't want to get in the trenches with him. Ray Mercer thought he did, and then politely removed himself from that. Mike Tyson thought he did and decided, you know what? I'm gonna bite this sucker. You understand? Because he wasn't as bad as he thought he was. And that's not to say, oh, Holyfield was all this. I'm giving the example of he was the type of person who had the temperament to test the other guy. Marvin Hagler was the same. There were moments in the fight where he said, let's go. Mm-hmm. He did it against John the Beast Mugabe, who had annihilated everyone else.
Everybody.
Until he got in there with Hagler, and Hagler beat all of the fight out of him. So much that when he finally fought Terry Norris a couple of fights later, he was stopped in one round.
Triangle theory,
beat all the fight out of the guy.
Triangle theory, y'all. Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all pick Isak Cruz to beat Devin Haney? I don't. I think Tank had enough boxing IQ to outpoint Isak Cruz once he figured out he couldn't stop that kid. There's no way Isak beats Devin Haney. He knows one direction. We never had to see Isak get on his bike and box. We haven't seen it. And guess what? Say Candyman. Say Candyman. Stormy. Say Candyman.
Candyman. There he is.
Hey, man. Shout
hey,
out
man. Salute to you, Trill Bill. Hey, we defending y'all's honor this morning, bro.
Oh, really? Listen, I know that, you guys always represent the real and the righteous. You know what I mean? And I always appreciate the energy that you give Devin first and foremost, and me and our family. You know what I mean? So we appreciate it. So, salute to Drew, salute to you as well, Stormy. And you know what I'm saying? Let's rock. Good morning to you guys.
Good
and
morning.
Everybody in the chat and everybody that, you know what I mean, will watch this thing that we do, for time to come.
Yes,
man,
sir.
Salute to you, Bill, man. Thank you for showing up. I sent you the link. I didn't even know you was gonna be awake.
Oh, absolutely. I got two young ones.
Yep.
Both of them are future tennis stars, inshallah, God willing. And we're up in the morning. I get up in the morning, of course, for Fajr prayer. Every chance, that I get, that I don't oversleep or anything like that. Yeah, brother, you know what I mean? And I'm a big fan of your show, so I always watch your show. I'm always tuned in. I got the link, jumped in the shower, and I'm here.
I appreciate you, good brother. I appreciate you. So you see the title,
I didn't see the title. What does the title say? Because I went on my phone. I never did go on YouTube and start listening to the show or anything like that.
Well, the title is Devin Haney is the #1 pound-for-pound boxer in the world, yes or no? And I'm saying yes. and I'm making my case. Now, we know pound for pound lists are subjective, so there is no really right or wrong answer. But I have a criteria because everyone has a weird criteria. I've seen a pound for pound list where they considered money generated, money earned, and I'm like, that's no fucking part. But whatever, man. We could play that game too with Devin. We could do that too.
Right.
I could say, well, how many of these motherfuckers on the pound for pound list are actual bosses? There's only number one. You understand? But I just want to keep the criteria simple.
Right.
I consider a fighter and his contemporaries that avoided him. You got to put Devin at number one in that aspect. You have to. Devin is in a driver's seat. He's undisputed, and he's still got to run around and chase motherfuckers that old media puts at a higher standard. Why the fuck Lomachenko can't find his way off of a goddamn list? He can't find his way off the list. So the man got 2 losses that he hasn't ran back, right? And he dumped the belt rather than fight. Y'all supposed to fight Loma. Y'all could have fought Loma like 3 years ago. Why didn't that happen? Before the pandemic, y'all could have fought. Why hasn't that happened? And these are things that they never factor in. But you look at these pound for pound lists, they'll put Errol, in respect to Errol, but I have him at number 2 under Devin, and I'll explain that why later. But they'll put Errol at number 1. They'll put Bud Crawford at number 3, and they'll sandwich in that kid Inui from Japan right in between them. And they'll put Devin at 10. Meanwhile, he's undisputed. Went to foreign ground, won the title foreign ground, and defended it on foreign ground. One time, you didn't get to Australia until the 11th hour. They held the whole camp away. And they act like they couldn't square that away. That should have been the first fucking thing they sat down and spoke to y'all about once y'all agreed to fight. Well, look, y'all got some felonies. Oh, y'all got some felons over there. We got to make sure y'all can get into the country before we do anything. And they didn't do it. So all of these things Devin was up against. George Cambozo, Lomachenko ducking, Tank ducking. That's what we was talking about. Tank ducking.
And
So
Drew,
this shit
let's
is
revisit why I said that if Haney's number 1, why?
Right.
Remind, because you're speaking, but I want you to throw that in there. No, Bill, what I said was due to, and I'll refer to you all as you all. You know, not just your son, but both of you, because you're a team. Due to you all accepting the circumstances to take the fights that you really want, even if it means taking less money, even if it means going on further foreign ground, if it means that you have to sign with another promotional company to get a job done, to get a fight made, you all have made provisions that a lot of the other fighters that are on the pound for pound list won't do. So that alone indicates how important it is where you are looking at your careers and where you want to be in the sport of boxing, and that you can look back on your body of work and say, I did this, I did that, I faced him, and you're the only ones in the sport. And if there's consideration of a pound for pound list, that alone can put you at the very top, because no one else is willing to do it. But they can get on social media and they can bark, and say all these things, but they're not getting in the ring. They're not having the deals made. And at the end of the day, money and things of that nature have displaced a lot of people's priorities. But see, your legacy will stand high and longer. When it's all said and done, your body of work will be always over these others, because they are not willing to, guess what? Take the risk.
See,
hey, listen, both of you guys are making key points and valid points that from our perspective, that those are on our checkoff list. You know what I mean? It's a certain list that as a fighter and as a team, we check off the boxes. And those are questions and things that are posed by the people. You know, Devin is driven by the people, not by me. You know what I mean? We serve Allah, and we do God's work, but at the same time, our job as a fighter in the sports and entertainment business is to give the people what they want and not necessarily what we want, right? And you guys both have hit on great points and great aspects of it. One that I pride myself in the fact of that we did it in a way that has broken down any of the barriers for anyone, for that matter, any father and son or daughter and I mean daughter and father or vice versa, that you can stick together through the amateurs. You can come up through it, stick together, and get to the top. You know, before we did it, and it was nothing, money, none of that meant anything. Only thing that what meant something to us is trailblazing and bushwhacking a way for other guys to come behind us, because it's not been easy. You see, even Devin is the youngest world champion in boxing. He's the youngest undisputed in boxing. He is number one. But breaking down in his division, in a division that was considered the hottest division in boxing, when he was considered to be one of the four kings, an emperor, and another 3-division world champion. From the words out of his mouth is he put some structure in the lightweight division. And anytime that you do that, and you do that at 23 years old, right? It says a whole lot. It says a whole lot. It says enough that, to me, he's been the fighter of the year, right? He's been the pound for pound guy. He's been all that. But that was in my heart. But now, in my mind, I can argue it with facts. I can back it up with facts and not just going on, how I feel about it. For Devin to go over and become an undisputed champ on foreign soil, that hasn't been done, right? To go over and defend it, that hasn't been done.
Right.
So in the 4-belt era, so I mean, it's so many things that, okay, take for example, our dear friend in Baltimore and them, the Tank team, right? They said, what is Devin, an email champ? Ain't he an email champ? So now we have all of the belts, and he still don't put no respect on Devin and Devin's name and his brand and what he stands for. We constantly say that the only reason that we want to fight you is because of what the fans want. Now, if you say that ain't what the fans want, right, and it's personal and all that shit, I'm saying that ain't the case, bro. That's not the case, right? When you talk about being the a champion of the people, win, lose, or draw, that means being committed to servicing the people. Period. And that's what Devin does. And that's why his numbers, and he's been able to do something at a relatively young age because of his motivation. His motivation is the people.
You see, and I agree totally, Bill. You guys don't broadcast your pockets and use that as a means to avoid top caliber competition. What I see is you're letting your reputation speak for itself. Devin's reputation is speaking for itself, whereas a lot of these fighters, they have a weird fan base, and I refer to them as weird. I'll use Anthony Joshua's fan base as an example. When Deontay Wilder and AJ was the fight to make, I heard their fan base use the term, what has he done to deserve AJ? I would hear that excuse more than a little bit, and I would say, wait a minute, he's a WBC champion. That's the last piece to the puzzle. AJ don't want that. It was always money, 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 money. So if Tank is the A side, cool, then the A side could make the damn fight. No one's thinking about that. Another thing we was just talking about before you pulled up was this weird, to me it's weird, this weird thing about Devin not having a chin. I don't recall Devin ever hitting the deck. I don't recall that. He had a little trouble at the very end of round 10 when he fought Linares. You know, Linares, the guy that actually knocked Lomachenko on his ass? That guy?
Right.
I don't recall Devin hitting the deck. He came back round 11. He got his feet back. Round 12 was back to business.
Right.
He lost one round in that fight. One round. And all they can remember is him getting clipped. And that's nothing that Linares did. That was a mistake that Devin made. That's another difference. See, people really don't know boxing. Linares capitalized off a mistake that Devin made, but he still couldn't floor him. So, you know, I'm not even going to focus on that. But my point is, the reason why Devin is my number one pound for pound is because of everything that we're mentioning right now. You know,
well, that's one thing that comes with one thing that comes with having a big heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is sometimes your heart gets your chin in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the one thing about Floyd,
Go ahead.
He had a big heart. He fought the guys, right? And of course, he got rocked a couple times. Sugar Ray Leonard, he fought the guys. He went down a few times. You know what I mean? There's no fighter, Stormy. What I was saying was that the guys with the big hearts, right? The Devins, the Floyds, the Ray Leonards, a big heart will sometimes get your chin in trouble, right? Mm-hmm. And these guys have big hearts and they come out to perform for us. I can't say my heart is that big that I'm about to go get under the lights and go 12 rounds with anybody. You know what I mean? Right? And I'm skilled in the game and all that. What I'm saying is these guys have big hearts, man. And they should be celebrated for the way that they deal with adversity when they get their chin, when their chin does get in trouble, when they do get rocked. How do they handle adversity? And you've seen it happen with the best of them. There's nobody in boxing that don't get rocked. I mean, you whip ass 29 fights in a row. You beat up 29 guys, bloody, nose is busted, and you think that getting rocked ain't part of this game?
Yeah.
To that notion.
Yeah.
I just released a video this morning talking about the fight that Regis Prograis just won with Jose Zepeda over this past weekend.
Yeah.
And I gave Regis a ton of credit from learning from his defeat to Josh Taylor, because even though that fight was on foreign soil for him and the decision was very close, could have gone his way depending on how you're judging and whatnot.
You see how tough that is. I'm gonna let you continue, but you see how tough that is for Regis to go over, just like Devin to go over there. It's the same thing. It's tough to get the decision. It's close. It's tough. You know what I mean? So but go ahead, Stormy. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. But to that point, I spoke about in this fight against Zepeda how he learned from the experience and he had time to get better. And when I say get better as a man and condition his mind for the task at hand. Now, some people thought that he should just go in there because he's strong and everything and knock Zepeda out. But Zepeda had a punch as well. And Zepeda was one of those type of fighters that you don't necessarily want to get in a fight with, because that's his advantage. That's who he is. And Regis boxed him, fought a little bit, but boxed him, wore him down a little bit, and caught him late and took him out. Never let it go to the judges' scorecards. And again, I saw growth in him as opposed to the fighter he was first. And even in the post-fight press conference, he spoke about how dangerous Zepeda was. He talked about his power. He talked about his jab. He gave credit to the man. But all people could see was, because they wanted Regis to win. They were like, yeah, Regis, but he should have knocked him out. He said, dude, it's a fight. Did you see Regis's face?
That's what I was going to say.
He was in a battle, bro, and he still won. these people out here who are riding that wave of a guy getting rocked or a guy, not having a chance, all of that, these men condition themselves to do something that the average person is never thinking about doing. So there are so many layers to that onion. But to see a man, and in this case I'm talking about Regis, have the growth that he had to be able to win that fight. He might not have won that fight had he not lost to Josh Taylor, because it would have been a different mindset going into the fight against Zepeda when he was undefeated. But see, even a defeat can allow a man to come back and come back better.
Absolutely.
Bill, this is my other brother, Southern T, man.
Okay, hey, Southern T.
Good, Bill. All right. I had Bill on my show a few times, a couple phones,
Okay.
That's good, Bill. Yeah, all right, Bill?
Yes, sir. Good morning to you.
Yes, I hear y'all up here cooking, man. And Drew, I'm glad you hit on it, man, because since that's gonna get to it right there. Rise podcast. Since Tank went on the Rise podcast, it started like a bonfire everywhere, and people was telling me like, oh well, you see Tank. He said he want to fight Devin. Well, if I recall, he said that before. You know what I mean? Around the George Kambosos, fight. And also, people tell me, well, Devin Haney, quote unquote, was clout chasing, right? Because he was supposed to fight Loma, and he called and he hit at Tank. Well, Tank is about to fight Garcia, the singing group. He about to fight Garcia, and he hit out at Devin. Nobody seemed to have a problem with it. You know what I mean? So I just see a lot of unbalanced, a lot of unbalanced emotion, a lot of unbalanced, judgment when it comes to Devin Haney for whatever reason. And my problem with it is, you see Bill, you see Devin, they are people persons, right? They interact with the people. You know what I mean? And you got a lot of people who support a guy who told you before, man, I don't care about the fans. I don't care about, the belts. I care about making money. You get what I'm saying? And Bill Haney just came up here and said, money is not their goal. Their goal is to please the people, which is what, I tell everybody. I said, man, Devin is a real people's champion. You know what I mean?
Right.
What the fans want, Devin hear what the fans are saying, and he go out there and he tries to do it, which could get you in trouble. Like Bill stated earlier, that could get you in trouble. But that's why we appreciate Devin, guys like Devin, because they push the envelope, no matter what. They could be Hollywood and, I got money and I got this and I don't got to talk to you little YouTube people, but they move the exact opposite of that. And that's why, I rock with the Haneys and, them and how they move type deal. But I heard y'all in this thing cooking.
Hey, Southern T, you hit it on the head, and I always, and I must confess that we are and have always been taken care of financially. You know what I'm saying? That's why we don't talk about the money. The money is straight. Like in the industry, right? In the industry of boxing, the executives and the broadcasters and everybody really know who Devin is, and they've been knowing who Devin is for a long time. So the bag and the check has never been in question. It has always been, which vehicle are we going to get in to serve the people? You know what I mean? Is it going to be the Showtime Showbox vehicle? Is it going to be with Eddie and the DAZN? You know what I mean? Or ESPN? And those are all great vehicles that get to certain audiences and get to them, in a good way. The new narrative is that we fight on free TV, but I have a lot of guys that's locked up, right? That don't get a chance and that are motivated behind watching Dev fight, and some of them, gonna be in there for the rest of their life, and you know what I mean, and for them to see Devin and to see what we and where we've come from, you know what I mean, is major in my life. It's a lot of women that don't, they got it, but they don't want to pay $80. to see it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
you know, for them to see it for free, you know what I'm saying? So the ESPN vehicle for us is a good one for us right now. Not to say that we don't, you know what I mean? When with Eddie Hearn, it was $20 a month. And I thought that was a deal based on the 80s. So, you know, we always try to think and be considerate of what, you know what I'm saying, the best way and to get it to the people. And of course, you know, have a great event. I also pride ourselves in we never negotiate bad deals that the opponent doesn't get paid, right? You never hear an opponent ever complain about the money that they made with Devin. You know, they're always happy because those are situations that we're able to negotiate. It's not a whole lot of people in between our business, you know, our business model of me and Devin, you know what I mean? So it's enough in the pie that, you know, we haven't signed away to people and promised people this or borrowed. And not to say those things don't work, but when you do it saying that, oh, I have to do it because I'll never ever have an opportunity to really actually do it from a what we call Devin Haney promotion standpoint, we wanted to let people know that that's not true. You know what I mean? If you really think that you can do it and you have the resources to do it, then you know what I mean? You know, by all means do it. We have a strong belief in God as well, and Allah doesn't make any mistakes. So, but also taking into consideration that, man, you can actually do it. And with the social media, the way that it is, because Devin was born on YouTube, right? And I always pride, he was born on YouTube and we started in Tijuana. Don't change the story up now and confuse it and all that. No, we started in Tijuana and we filmed it in Tijuana, uploaded it to YouTube and came back and got our buzz and did anything. So it's something that we want to highlight and always show the people. They downplay it for where we then came from to where we at, and this goes to where Stormy, I said, for Devin to stay down with the plan, be at 24 years old to accomplish that, and to be number one and clean out a division that was go from one of the four kings to having the crown, all the belts, that can't be anything other than a success story. And for you
too.
Huh?
And for you too, Bill. And for you too, Bill, because
but listen,
you
I'm watching it. I'm loving it like y'all are. I'm actually in it, so I'm telling everybody, like, I'm only saying what Devin, as a 23, when you believe in your son, and then your son believes in you. You see what I'm saying? So I get a chance to experience. I wake.
Probably got a call.
Oh shit! Hello.
Yeah, we good. We good.
Yeah.
Let me read the super chat real quick. Squirrely says, "Bill, what you doing in the museum, bro?"
Hello.
I want to.
Yeah, you good. You good. We read the super chat real quick. Oh, he'll be back. Cali Enigma, my brother, salute to you in that super chat. He said, dudes hate Devin because they grew up without a father, and Devin has his daddy in his corner. Unfortunately, that breeds a lot of hate. Bro, that is National Geographic facts. That's a fact.
Not only that, I will add to something about that. It's the positive progressiveness of what they represent. Remember, there are people that can look to these men as motivation and aspiration factors for their own lives. And in the culture of this country, we do not need to state or reiterate that they don't want that for you.
Right.
You understand? What you should be is what they think you should be. But as long as you have, and Malcolm X said this, it is very difficult to be what you cannot see. Huh? So as long as you have motivational factors and inspirational leaders
You know what he just said?
you in a direction to be self-sufficient, to be able to rise above wherever you may find yourself. Because if you saw someone else do it You can be motivated to do it yourself.
Absolutely. Listen, and I just told my son, he just said it's hard to be what you can't see. But okay, on this is Floyd Mayweather's chin in question. Okay? Right? Okay. That's another one. Quote from Floyd Mayweather, chin in question. He was constantly questioned about his chin. Chin. All you gotta do is type in Floyd Mayweather and his chin, right? Okay, then I'm gonna show you this, right? So his last one was taking on the chin for Floyd Mayweather Jr. Okay, but I also have, because you got to study the greats, study him. You also have Floyd Mayweather arguing about him being the most boring boxer.
See that?
Floyd Mayweather, boring boxer. Boring. Oh, ranking most boring boxers, right? So, I mean, it's nothing that hasn't been done already. But when you talk to the greats, and Dev has a great relationship, you know what I mean, with, I mean, some of the guys that have been the most successful in our industry, and the similarities are weird.
That's lack of better words, yeah. It's weird. It's weird.
It's weird. So anything that if you say it about Dev, if they say it about Dev, then take a look at it and look it up for Floyd.
No power. No power
Floyd
too, quote unquote.
Floyd and what's the name? You know what I mean? Brittle hands, right? Listen. So Floyd had brittle hands, Devin has pillow hands. Everything is crazy. Everything that Devin, you say it all the shit. But you don't say TBE, you don't say anything, but you do say undisputed with Dev. You see what I'm saying? So the undisputed, right? Because first they say email. Lenore said, you don't got a belt. Who are you? Tank said, oh, ain't he an email champion? So he got all the belts, right? But you type in anything about Floyd, right? You say it about Dev. You see it.
It's funny how history repeats itself.
What? You ready for another Uncle Pesos moment?
Oh, time out. The comparisons are also
let me say
similar.
It first. Let me say it first. With Floyd, he had a great career. That's wonderful. But Devin is doing his own thing now. He's doing it in a different way. We're in a new era. We're in a four belt era now. And Devin is what, 23 years old?
Just turned 24. Just turned
24. And he's undisputed, right? Floyd was never undisputed.
What?
Floyd was never undisputed.
Never.
You understand? Now, Bill.
Y'all welcome.
Bill, for those of people that missed it, take me through Thanksgiving. For those of you that don't understand what the hell that was.
Okay, so another, Thanksgiving is a celebration, but the celebration started because of a day that me, Devin, and Floyd was together in his Rolls Royce. And you know what I mean? You know, Floyd, he has all the big fly shit. You know, we talking about the jury and Dev, that's why I said, with them, and they were that day still talking about jury. And, the fascination that Devin has with jury, Floyd, I don't have quite that like for jury like that, but they're talking about the jury, and I'm in the back seat, and Floyd out of nowhere says, do you know who Tank is? He asks me, right? And I said, yeah, I know who Tank is. He said, Tank, okay. And then he said, he said not to anyone in particular, but he said, you want to get some of that work with him? Dev responds, yeah. Before I can say something, I say, okay, yeah, for sure. He calls Kitchy on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Kitchy, tell everybody, you know what I'm saying, to come over right now, and I knew when, a guy talking on the phone and he's saying, I think by the time we got there, it was so many people. It's a video of Floyd with a limo and a football player pulling up on Ellie, and Floyd saying, "Everybody, come on in," and he thought that the football player was tanking him inside the limousine, but it wasn't. He let them come in too. Now, ironically, everybody say that you're not supposed to talk about sparring and what stays in sparring. So why are all these people here?
Right.
Why is it something that we're not supposed to talk about? And all these people were invited.
What that's about?
How could it stay there? You dig, right? How could it stay there? And I won the money. You see? So maybe if they had won, then everybody would hear more about the stories. You see what I'm saying? Right? You know? But the story is no different than with Devin and Floyd. When Devin was in the ring with Floyd, right? Floyd was too old, right? They talk about him helping Tank. He couldn't even help himself when he was in there with Devin. You understand what I'm saying? And I say that story all the time, but you know, Floyd was too old. But he's having exhibitions with these other guys. I was just talking about an exhibition that he had with a young kid named Devin Haney. But we don't want to talk about it. You see what I'm saying? But
because
if you have a picture, but I'm saying is with all the people that we talk about, if you have a story of Devin getting a busted nose or Devin going down on the canvas or Devin any of the shit, then everybody would be talking about it. But right. he has a granite chin. So I come back to say, well, I don't think that he has. I mean, that he has not a granite. He has a weak chin or whatever, glass jaw.
Glass jaw.
They say they push the narrative glass jaw. I say, well, damn, why was he in here with all these people and nobody ever knocked him down or knocked him out?
So where's Tank getting this from?
Well, no, he was with Tank. He sparred Tank for the first time when he was 14.
Right. When
he was 14 years old in Upton. But now the time that we're talking about is Devin is 16 now. In the front seat with Floyd, I'm in the back seat. And obviously talking about jury, but Floyd is interested in signing Dev because Dev is a multinational champion with not only a bunch of wins, U.S., but by the time he was 16, he was fighting 17, 18, and he had international experience. Dev has already been to the Ukraine and fought in Russia. He's already been to the Dominican Republic and already been to Italy. He's already been these places as a youth because he was part of that same team as Shakur Stevenson was, the traveling and all the stuff. But when it came time for the Olympics, they said he was too old. But his birthday is in November the 17th. So when we put him in boxing, they said that he had to still fight upper class. So when he was 16, he was fighting 17, 18. When he was 14, he was fighting 15, 16, right? So by the time he was 16 years old, he had won everything and we had lost our chances to go to the Olympics. So that's where you got a chance to see us helping Shakur get ready to go to the Olympics and their sparring session. But the sparring session between Devin and Tank happened because we're in the car. It's the Adrian Broner, Sean Porter weekend. And Floyd called Adrian after he talked to Kitchie and said, AB, where your guy at? I got my guy with me right now. And we pull up to the gym. I see the Cincinnati guys, and they got on all the AB shit, and Tank is with them. And it's a couple of DC guys that I know, and I didn't really know the Baltimore guys that was with Tank. And so the Cincinnati guys is kind of, they like guys are saying now, it's a little spicy, a little hot. They talking shit. They about to fight Sean Porter. They just left the weigh-in. So I said, okay, because I know our Ohio guys, they stand up dudes, but they pull out their money, they bet what they talking about. So you can't just talk to them. You're gonna have to bet, especially with AB and the AB crew. So I told Devin, go ahead and get ready. I'm gonna go to the house and scrape up whatever kind of little change I can get, and I'm gonna rush back. And I came back. Big Nate Jones, he was there. He was betting with us. He's on the. You look up Nate Jones. He gonna say.
Nate
And
Jones,
it's funny because Nate Jones won some money on the sparring, and now he's saying that he thinks that Tank will be there. But that's a whole nother story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So, but that's his opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm just giving you a run.
Nate is from here. He's from the shop.
Yeah. So, yeah,
I know
good
him.
dude, stand up dude. Love Nate. And respect whatever his opinion. But I come back and a couple of the Cincinnati guys and the DC guys. But the DC guys wasn't betting, they were just talking shit. The Cincinnati guys was betting, and it was AB's dad and Coach Levi and somebody else that I didn't know, but they let me know that his money was gonna be good. We passed the money, and like I said, was only because I didn't want no shit being talked about what happened and all the shit. We was gonna put some money, and we know that it's the doghouse rules. Doghouse rules is different than when I came when Dad was 14 to spar Tank, because he's saying if I pulled him out of there, man, he's a 3-round fighter, man. How many rounds do you want me to go with him? When I came in there, y'all went more than 3 rounds, right? Went more than 3 rounds, but he's an amateur fighter, so we weren't coming to get professional rounds. We were coming to give you the rounds that we were at 14 years old. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he didn't knock him out then, and then he didn't knock him out then. You see what I'm saying? So our level of since the whole shit been going on, has always been boxing. We've never looked at him like he was gonna knock, because when I do my homework and I'm like, okay, and I'm the one that, obviously you taking a 14-year-old kid, you gotta have some intel and some homework when you put them in the ring in the sport, and even at 16. But if somebody, I was asking myself, if somebody ever seen somebody like the slick like Devin, right? The Tank is knocked out. It reaffirms even more of what Shakur said. Shakur said, man, I sparred him a bunch of times. It wasn't like that. You know what I mean? But Tank and his team is creating a narrative as if we chumps. We never said that they was chumps. We was talking about it being a big event and all the fly shit. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Well, I think Tank is in his feelings.
Yeah, you need 2 dance partners. You need a dance partner. You can't fight yourself, and you can't pick for the people. The other side, they already pick you. So you can't pick the other guy for them and say you the guy. Well, they got to pick the other guy. And if they pick us to be that guy, then it matches up for a great event. But we're not going against the fans and going against, you know what I mean, boxing and what boxing represents and none of that. It represents the best fighting the best.
So, all of this stuff about, I watched that interview when he called Devin a paper champion, and it was kind of shocking, because I'm like, Tank has to know what's going on the ground, man. He has to know what was going on. He can't just be dicking his way.
Let me just tell you, Drew, let me just tell you on everything. The way that we look at it is Tank is a good fighter. We just feel that it's something special about Dev, and we're better than anybody that he's fought, sir. That's the only thing that you're saying. You know what I mean? Like when you look at it and you saying, okay, well, shit, you know what I mean? What you didn't send them to the hospital or nothing, you know what I'm saying? You hit Rolly with a shot, you did this person with this, but it's certain shit that we don't see happening to us. It don't happen to us. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to have to be something different that he's going to do, and it's going to have to be something different that Devin's going to do. That's what brings out the best in both for the guys. You know what I mean? But to be frank about it, this is a sport. This is a career. This is not like all that other shit that requires all of the hostility. You know what I mean? I thought that he would have a level of respect, like he said in the past. He said, "I respect you, little young nigga, because you around here beating motherfuckers up and handling your business the same way he does." You see what I'm saying? And the fans have a hell of a guy in him. That's why we say that we would fight him, because he is what they say he is. And we are who we are. You know what I mean? That's what makes for a hell of an event.
I think he's a bit intimidated as far as accomplishments are concerned, because there was things every time him and Floyd fall out, it's because he's accusing Floyd of not taking his leash off. Because there was things that I remember him wanting to do at one point that he said he couldn't do it because Floyd wouldn't let him. And then when he looked subpar in the fight, Floyd threatens him with Lomachenko. And I said, well, that's very rich, because the man that you're threatening him against is the guy that Devin been chasing for 3 damn years. So how do you threaten Tank with Lomachenko? The Lomachenko literally dropped the belt and accepted a mythical status rather than fight Devin. Tank has to know what was going on there.
Yeah, but we did that. We did that about Floyd and about Tank. You know what I'm saying? That we know that Lomachenko, what Lomachenko then did, and how everybody feared Lomachenko. We know, if you look at the interview between Devin and Tio on Barbershop Conversations, Devin says to him is, I believe that you can beat him. Like, I believe both of us. You know what I'm saying? I know that you're trying to get a hold of him, and it's going to be ultimately who gets to him first. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been knowing Teofimo Sr.'s dad before the world knew him. So when I'm going to go looking to talk to see a Teofimo Sr., that's between me and Tio. We've been knowing them kids since before they was grown. So when he's talking, he's responsible for what he's saying, and I'm looking to go talk to him, right? And
so you saw that tweet. You saw that tweet yesterday.
What?
From Teofimo?
What'd he say?
Oh my God. Somebody was just talking about, somebody, if you have it, put it in the chat. I mean, he's talking slick. He talking about what'd he say? Basically, it's an empty threat against Devin again. You come up here, I'm gonna slap you around, some bullshit, and I'm like, wow.
Who is that? Tio or
Teofimo?
I'm looking for Senior. I'm not talking.
Oh, Senior.
Yeah, I'm not talking to Junior. I'm not talking to Junior. Junior got a fight. He got a fight lined up. Junior got a fight lined up. Well,
and if he ain't focused, he gonna run into some
problems. He gonna fuck around. He can fuck around and lose that fight.
I want him to concentrate on his fight. And matter of fact, you know what? Tio called me after the fight. It's how many days away is it to his fight? Because I want him to win. I don't want him to beat.
Where's that fight, Stormy? Next week? Southern T, that fight's next week?
Yeah, yep. December
10th.
10th. Yep, 10th.
He can fuck around and lose to Sandor, man. That guy's not coming to lay down. But see, the thing with Tio, we used to fuck with Tio heavy over here, man. But I don't know, man. It's like that franchise status made people. It's like you watch Lord of the Rings and everyone gets that one ring and they start going crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What you mean?
Tio and Senior, they're once again, makes for another big event. You know what I mean? Listen, the guys, they played like we're not great dance partners. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't bring nothing to the table. You know what I mean? That's the funny part about it. We never say that, and definitely don't say to any executives that have any broadcasting networks that Devin and Tank, Devin and Shakur, Devin and Brian, Devin. We don't tell them people that they make no fights, make no good fights, and we're not going to take those fights. Or are you crazy? You know what I'm saying? Let them tell that. That's what y'all keep saying. That's what y'all keep wanting to do. That ain't what we do. And that's why we don't worry about money. We don't worry about any of this shit because we all right. You know what I mean? And if they want to be in the position, then they'll start doing the things to be in the position. Maybe they don't want to be in the position.
They don't.
Hey, Bill, I'm glad you said that, Bill, because like you just said something. Maybe they don't want to be in position. Now, people come at me, about the Tank situation. Bill, a few months ago, the WBA said before Devin and Kambosos fight that Tank Davis is going to be the mandatory to the winner of Devin and George Kambosos.
So he told him not to do it. He told him. Tank Davis and the team told the WBA if they order it, he gonna go the other direction and go with another sanctioning body. He gonna leave.
He could have did it. That's
Say
what I
it
was
again,
telling
Bill.
people.
Yeah,
Say it
that's
again,
facts.
Bill.
No, that's facts. That's facts.
That's what I was telling people, Bill. Like he could have, Tank could have had that this year. We could have got that fight this year if
Yeah.
Tank wanted it.
Yeah,
If
facts.
he wanted it, he could have got it this year. But my bad. But go ahead. I just wanted to throw that.
That's important information. We could have had the fight, man.
Yeah, but we
All
could
of
have
this
been.
talk, it's
we could've
okay
been
for
at the
people to
fight.
say I picked Tank over Devin. That's all. That's a matter of opinion. But it's opinion. I'm ready to get to the facts. If he feels he could beat Devin, A side, prove it. You got the power of the pen, right? Make the fight.
Could have jumped the line. Could have jumped the line. Move all that. Everything would have been nothing and void with that WBA mandatory thing.
Well, because what it would have done is it would have forced Devin to either drop the WBA belt and him not be undisputed, or go into a purse bid for the WBA title, and then that way they bid on it, whoever else bid on it, and the fight happens. You know what I'm saying? Or we drop the belt and run. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't do that. And that's the only sanctioning body business that I've heard thus far. You know what I mean? Loma, we've been talking with Loma and Loma's team, and they're trying to make the fight happen. And going back to that was that Loma was on Tank and on Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
They was on them. You know what I'm saying about it? So that's when we got on Loma for doing that. You know what I mean? For everyone sensationalizing and glamorizing Loma as that particular style beating a style here. No different than the Ukrainian team winning the Olympic medals, and a lot of them, they won a lot of them in 2012. Me and Devin went out there to London to see it. We were in London for 2012, and I did that not even knowing that Lomachenko and him would ever fight and that Loma was going to win the gold, but I wanted him to experience the Olympic experience, you know what I'm saying, and be able to see it and see the fighters and see what's happening, even though they said that his age, he wouldn't be able to. He wasn't able to compete the next 4 years after. It still was a valuable experience because he saw Lomachenko then. And in 2012, he was 1998. He was about 14 years old when we went out there.
Ain't that funny, man?
I got a question for you, Bill. Your thoughts, since we have touched on Lomachenko, he's always been on these people's pound for pound list. Even though he's had losses that he hasn't avenged and things of that nature. But now that it's coming together that you all are going to be facing him, he's been dropped on the pound for pound list. Now, almost like they're no longer acknowledging the position that they placed him at.
I know. As soon as they seen Devin and him get in the ring side by side. But I never wanted that. I had another picture. You know what I'm saying? And I never said that. You'll never hear me saying Lomachenko is too small.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they know what Devin is, and he wasn't surprised by it. He just said he said that, right? But he said it as a joke, because he knew what Devin was. But from the language barrier, it caught him by surprise. Actually seeing Devin walk up to him, right? It caught him by surprise. You know what I'm saying?
Do what I said.
And because they're still fighters, right? And at the end of the day, right, he did a lot of shit to Dev and their team and everything, and top rank,
See that, Bill?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he had a little loss of fluids at that moment.
He shorted, man. He shit his pants. Lightweight. He's heavyweight.
No. You see my man Aegis, the manager. You pull it back up. Me and Aegis over there to the right. That's Because Clemus, we've been going back. He's the manager to Usyk and a lot of Lomachenko, a lot of good fighters that come from that part of the world. But yeah, man, shout out to both of them, man.
So it's looking like
Loma retires. Devin retires Loma. I'm calling that right now because after he loses Loma, what the fuck is he gonna do? Rematch T.O.? He ain't doing that. He ain't doing that. He ain't gonna have to.
Well, he's a guy that is proven that he can compete. He can compete on that level. So just like we told George, no different than it's just that Devin is something that's different. You know what I mean? And he probably could compete. He probably could compete with an Esau Cruz. He can compete with some of those guys. But when what's the next? What's the plan? Next 3 fights.
There you go, Drew. I was just about to ask that.
Well, the next 3 fights
is 140 in the future.
Well,
like in the near future.
I told him, we give him one fight at 135 pounds again, and defend, because we defended against George Kambosos on foreign soil, and the narrative that could be created that it's somebody else left in the 135-pound division, and whoever that may be, if it's and Top Rank has every opportunity on this next fight to put their best fighter in there, and it could be Shakur, it could be Devin. It could be Shakur and Devin, and it can be Loma and Devin. But we're not running out, like no thieves in the night, that we got Kambosos and we didn't know that we had another fight with somebody bad that's over there. You know what I mean? And I respect and appreciate the fact that Devin is in a position, and we've done good business thus far, and it hasn't always swung in aspects in our direction, but the people that's doing the business know, okay, if they do win, if they do these things, what's on the other side of the rainbow? We don't necessarily always get taken care of for the work that we putting in at that present time, but somehow Allah continues to bless us, as we get through the trials and tribulations of being in this sport, and
absolutely,
and I say that happily. I say that proud, you know what I mean, and it's all been worth it, you know what I'm saying, thus far.
Last question, because I got to get out of the way because the general's about to come on. At Undisputed, because I trust y'all gonna clean up 135. Will you, as Undisputed, will you jump the line at 140 and go straight to like Josh Taylor? Because I trust by then Josh Taylor will still be a champion. He's not undisputed, but he'll be a champion. Will you jump the line and go straight for Josh Taylor, or will you just get your feet wet and get some warm-up work at 140 before you go for somebody head?
Josh Taylor or Regis Prograis,
Oh,
you just said Regis Prograis check bounced this morning.
I told y'all that. What you mean check bounce?
For his last fight?
I just saw it in the chat just now. Black posted it on his gram.
What?
His check bounced.
What you mean check bounce?
For his fight Saturday?
His fight. That's what I saw. Black just, let me pull that fucker up right now.
How can it bounce? It only been a couple days, right?
Bro, let me look. I'm gonna go to Black's gram right now.
Yeah. So 140 is in
140 is next. After 135, after this next fight, I'm not gonna continue to do it. And
oh shit, I got it, y'all.
If we ain't talking right, shit, we go to 140 now. I want everybody to keep that in.
Regis Prograis. I deposited my fight check Monday while I was in LA. Today, the bank emailed me saying that the check bounced because of insufficient funds. Somebody better find out what's going on before I click the fuck out.
Oh,
wait a minute. This is Black just posted this.
Who did that fight? Who did it?
I think was it Pro Bellum? Southern Team was Pro Bellum?
Pro Bellum, yep, Pro Bellum.
Pro Bellum that was dealing with fucking Daniel Kinahan? Uh-oh.
That was them Marv Nation people.
Marv Nation, hello. Remember when I was asking where did Marv Nation get money to fund the fight? Prior to this event, I think the last fights they were doing boxing matches in fucking Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yep, that was them.
I did a live one. I said, who the fuck is Marv Nation? Now, Pro Bellum, that's Lou DiBella's people. Remember when Pro Bellum said, yo, get our name out your mouth. We ain't been fucking with Daniel Kinahan. They said that. Now they funded this fight, and this motherfucker check bouncing.
Those are those frozen funds, Drew.
Those are those frozen funds we talking about.
Accounts. Yep.
Oh, hold up. But I'm crazy though, right? Uncle Pecos, where you at?
This should be in the trash.
Hold on. Godfather, what's your take on this?
That's crazy.
This you can't make this shit.
Hey, that's sad, man. That is fucking sad, man.
You cannot make this.
That
shit
is sad. Listen, I'm telling you, that's something that we pride ourselves on, is that we don't put ourselves in situations that the opponent, the checks ain't bouncing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the checks are bouncing and stuff like that. You know, you can't do that, man. You know, you can't do it. You just got to just try and hope to do good business, man. And I hope that Regis can get his money, because that's not fair, man. It's not
right.
fair.
It's not fair.
It's not fair,
cool.
man. It's not fair. That's not fair
God.
that's not fair to his family. You know what I'm saying? Man, come on, man. Can you imagine? Oh, man, that's so gut. We did the fight. We putting up everything to try to get to the fight. We know, okay, we fight. We gonna win. We got that check, and we got the other check, because it's another check that's gonna come because you won and you're gonna be fighting again, right? And so you go all in as families. You know, we go all in. You know, from the camp, and his wife and family just putting so much energy into it, and then he's already injured and all kind of, you know what I'm saying? So now you just want to kick back. Now you just want to cash his check, kick back with his family, and they got to go back to working? No, man, that's wrong, man.
Even if he sued for the money, there's no guarantee he gets what he was promised.
That's why I say you got to go back to work.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to get up and go start walking around and go to a meeting and go that. When he wanted to get his check and rest, kick back, man. That's wrong, man. That's wrong.
And you see, when we get in here and just talk about all what's going on behind the scenes, this is why we do what we do. This is why. You ain't gonna get this on no fucking ESPN.
You sure ain't gonna get it on ESPN.
Nope, because motherfuckers.
We still waiting for ESPN to be a part of this.
Thank you. Half of ESPN are on that goddamn no-fly list. You see what I'm talking about? Now, Regis program went to Marv Nation. Remember when I did a live stream asking who the fuck are they?
Who is it?
And then I
What's
did
the name
some
of the
research.
company?
I think it's Marv Nation.
Marv Nation is the people that put the fight on and they won the pro bid. Marv Nation.
They won the first bid.
This was their first big fight that they ever had. This was the first one.
Probably the last.
It's probably the last. And I did a whole stream asking who are they. I did some research. They were doing shows at Buffalo Wild Wings. I said, how they got money? That's all I asked. I said, they got money?
I deposited my fight check Monday while I was in LA. Today, the bank emailed me saying the check bounced because of insufficient funds.
Lack of funds.
Find out. Damn.
That's fucked up.
I had to read that shit again. That's woo.
They're stealing.
God.
They're stealing.
That's a problem, man. That's
why I went on and had me an expedite performance energy. I'm about to get out in this world and make sure my business is straight. Wow. You see how you go into business with people and you start doing stuff, and you know that's why I be on it with my son. You know, it's the streamline of communication, because somewhere it got lost, and somebody is trusting somebody to trust somebody, and now.
Well,
Okay.
now we concerned because now Bud is over there with Black Prime, and they seemingly came out of nowhere. So they got Bud.
I hope that they are have a successful showing. We all should, because
me too.
Because you know what that does? It widens the market. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If they fold, Probellum fold, it only closes down the market, and then it has companies able to monopolize on the talent. They're able to monopolize on the industry and give the kind of deals that are more favorable towards them, because there's no. I heard Zepeda's check bounce too.
Holy shit! This shit is bursting at the seams, man. Holy shit, man! Salute to on the mic with Terrence Bailey, my brother. Salute. He said,
That's
salute
even you done lost your belts. Now you lose your belts for no money.
Lose your belts for free. That's fucked up.
Now that's crazy.
He said, salute, brothers. Good morning, chat. Hardest working man in boxing, Bill Haney. Big shout out to Trill Bill, man. Salute, man. This is amazing. I know Black gonna go in on this later.
Absolutely. Black gonna cover it, man. And I appreciate you, brother. You know what I'm saying, Stormy. You know what I'm saying, Southern T. Drew, man. Everybody in the chat, man. We appreciate you. Inshallah, we're looking forward to a new year in 2023. Filled with Devin, still pushing the envelope and still, in his quest for greatness, to be on the Mount Rushmore of boxing with all the greats.
Well, he's right there in line. I have him as number one pound for pound. I know the pound for pound lists are subjective, but I put him ahead of Errol only because of the work, his body of work Errol didn't have to do the same things that Dev did, taking short money, traveling abroad, and that's not to say that Errol isn't as good. I'm saying Devin had a harder way to go, and he's reaping his own way. I mean, y'all had to sign a deal with Top Rank. Nobody in the chat fucks with Top Rank. Y'all did it because y'all saw y'all saw the outcome, and we was worried. But
there's no greatness tied to Earl. If Earl said that he had to leave Al, it would be a no deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Eddie and Devin had a great relationship. You know what I'm saying? They making it. Dev making a ton of money. He's living like a young guy. You know what I mean? An average, typical young guy would want, all the things and stuff like that. But the people start talking about these people, and they said the belts, and they said all the things that they wanted, and surprisingly to me, and I think that's where Teal gets the thing and says that it's not what we thought it was. It's not with the fighters. What I thought that the fighters would want to do, right? We pride ourselves in what the people want. We pride ourselves in being a champion, even if it's a champion with one belt, because we know that, that's that missing ingredient. They saying now that they don't even pride themselves as being champions. They don't pride themselves as fighting the best. They don't pride themselves, and for those reasons, Devin to me is number one. It should be number one on anybody's list.
And I'm gonna leave it on this. I'll give Devin the edge on that list over Errol, and I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Outside of the ring, Devin is more disciplined, and I say that with love towards Errol too. And we know what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? That's why. I'm not even gonna talk about Bud Anui, get him the fuck up out of here, get Lomachenko the fuck up out of here. So I got Devin at number one. I'll go through my list some other time, but Bill, thank you so much.
Thank you, King. Appreciate you guys, man. Y'all have a good, a wonderful day, man. Look forward to talking to you guys soon, man. Stay
Absolutely,
blessed.
brother. Keep me posted now.
Absolutely. You know I am. All right.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Better.
Peace.
That was Trill Bill, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Just wow. I didn't know he was gonna show up. I just sent him a link earlier. I said, yo, if you up, slide through. You know what I mean? And he popped up, man. But I know I didn't get through all my lists. I didn't formally go through like 1 to 10. but I don't think I need to. If you got Errol up there, I just explained to you why I was going to wait to the end of the show, which I pretty much did. That's why I got Errol underneath Devin, because if you want to factor in things, Devin is more disciplined outside the ring. And that's what I'll say. And that's no slate to Errol, because I still got Errol up there at number 2. You understand? But, man, final thoughts, Stormy. And salute to Southern T. Salute to my brother, TWT in the building. Final thoughts, big bro.
Oh, man. Great opportunity to chop it up with Trill Bill. I've done content which talks about he and his son, the moves that they're making in boxing, and how and what they represent is kind of being frowned upon by the establishment. And that's okay, because we're in this thing to win it. We're in this thing. It's a fight, and it's a fight to the end. And as long as we have gentlemen such as those representing, we will always be in a great place. I love the fact that he did take you up on the offer to come in today and speak to us. And it also gave us a chance to let him know person to person that there's, and he understands it because he makes the rounds. But at the same time, it's always great to hear when people love you and support what you're doing, and they represent in that way, So that's something that I'm glad I got to be a part of that this morning, because it's meaningful to me. Because like I said, I'm out here and I'm not as big as some other channels and stuff like that, but I do believe the content that I produce, the editorials that I speak on, and the subject matters are imperative. They need to be heard. And I have my own particular way. And, he was here today, and I was able to tell him some things, person to person. So great show. Glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm also I'm getting that Charles Conwell's check bounced too. He was on the card. This might be a little bit of a every time I see Charles Conwell's name, you know how I talk about the universe, right? And you get what you put out. Y'all might not remember, but Google this name. Well, actually, take this name, go to my page, and put it in my page, and search the video that I did about this guy. This is the guy that faked an injury to get out of a fight, and he admitted it. He admitted that he faked the injury. And being that he faked the injury, I think he was the main event. And the whole card got scrapped because he faked an injury. That means everyone on the co-main event, everyone on the undercard didn't get paid. People that worked part-time selling popcorn and soda, nobody got paid because he lied about an injury because somebody, someone that used to manage him told him, fake the injury, pull out this fight because we can make better money elsewhere. And he did it. He did it. That's the guy, Charles Conwell. So every time I see his name, I'm like, I remember he did that. I did a video on it. Take that name, go to my page, and put it in the search engine. You'll see I did a video on it. I said, man, this is fucked up that he did that. And he admitted it. So now he fought on the Regis Prograde card. Now it was fucked up. Zepeda got knocked out for free. Regis check bounced. And Conwell fought on the card, and he's not getting paid. Well, I have to look at the story.
I smell a loon, coon, and buffoonery part 11.
Can we get that? Can we get that? You see how things, you get what you put out. And when is Bud fighting?
My birthday, December 10th.
So Bud is fighting on the same day that Teofimo's fighting.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And
there's a lot of
weird fights on the zone that day too.
Holy shit.
A
lot of weird shit. When is Chisora and Fury fighting?
This weekend coming up.
Yo, listen, y'all. The year's almost ending. There's gonna be an upset somewhere. You know what I'm not gonna say? There may be some stranger shit happening before this year's over. There's gonna be some strange shit happening. And salute to Art Hostas. He just sent me some other shit. Bro, this is a circus. And all of this is why this is perfect. This is perfect, Stormy. All of this is exactly why I put Devin at number 1 pound for pound. And I'm glad the brother said to put Devin, I think it was Eric O. To put Devin at number 1 is not, it's not a shot at Errol. We all know that Errol's disciplined when he has a fight coming up and he's always in shape and he knocks motherfuckers' heads off. I'll give him that. All right. But he illed out in that car and that was unnecessary. So if I was just to look at everything with a fine tooth comb and I say, okay, career-wise, okay, Devin's undisputed, Errol is not. That's Bud's fault. Okay, he did some great things, but right now, Devin is undisputed. He took a path, he took short money, he traveled abroad. I give that edge to Devin. It's not shitting on Errol. I just drop Errol to number 2, put Devin at number 1. And if you want to factor in things, so since people want to factor in salary and cars and jewelry and shit, I factor in a bit of what these guys do outside the ring. Errol almost killed himself or somebody else by flipping his car, man. Let's hold him accountable, man. And I'm glad he's alive. I'm glad the only thing he fucked up was the car. I'm glad. But if you want to read the fine print on shit, if you want to micromanage everything, I put Devin ahead of him. Fuck Anui. Why is he anywhere in the top 5? I put Cool Boy Steph ahead of him. Now what? Fuck out of here. I ain't checking for him. Fuck that. 2 heavyweights on that list. Get out of here. Bivol. Does Bivol have a better career than Devin? What about Beterbiev? They're both undefeated, but guess what? They should be fighting each other. They cancel each other out. Canelo, I don't put drug cheats on my list. Now, there goes that. And there goes why you wouldn't put Fury on it if you put heavyweights on it. There goes that. You understand? So come on, man. Come on, man. So $502, you make the case. He says Spence fought better competition. Kell Brook, he bust his ass overseas. Yeah, I give him full credit for that. But Devin not only became undisputed overseas, he defended overseas. It's subjective, bro. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's subjective. And I'm not saying that because Bill is friend to the family. I'm not saying that. I'm just looking at it. I just thought of this shit yesterday. I say, yeah, you know what? I got Devin as number 1. They don't want to put him at 8. They don't want to put him at 10. I put him at number 1. How about that? How about that hot shit? So nobody got paid. I guess the whole card ain't get paid? Fuck.
Some mad people today, I'm telling you.
Oh my God. Where do I got? Robert says, where do I got the guy from Omaha on my pound for pound list? I don't know. Maybe I'll look at it again.
We don't have enough time in the show
No, we
to talk
don't.
about why, because he's not even on my list anymore. I think his name has been erased from my library. You know what I'm saying? I don't even recognize the fool. And I say that with all due respect. Fool. You can look that up. The Oxford description of what that word really means. He is the embodiment of it. Should have his photo right next to it.
And on the way out the door, salute to Renzo. I agree with you, brother. Devin did it faster. That's also you factor in. Like I said, it's razor close. It's razor close, but I put Devin ahead of him. Stormy, let them know how they can find you. If y'all don't follow Stormy, there's something wrong with y'all, but let them know how they can find you again.
And everybody can find me right here on YouTube. Stormy B Man's the channel. Just put the link in the chat again and come on over there and get some of that good content, man. We cooking over there. Stormy B Man is a big brother and likes his food, and I ain't afraid to share. You know, come on over there and get some. Get a plate.
And I know the haters was in here. I know they mad. Hey man, stay mad. We working over here. So go on and make your videos about what you heard here. But one thing we will say is that Bill has been very consistent in everything. Salute to him. Salute to the winning team, Southern T. Salute to the Sensei, Stormy B. And salute to me. And salute to you monkeys. I love and appreciate the content you put out about everything that we do. And fuck you very much. And I'll be back tomorrow. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.